My name is Megan, and I'm from Newfoundland. I'm currently the Corporate Relations Manager with CCRW. And I've actually wore a lot of hats at CCRW. I started as a frontline staff, as a facilitator of the Youth of Future program. I then moved into the coordinator of that program. And then I had the pleasure of being on maternity leave. I had a little boy. And then I had the great opportunity to come back with the Partners Program, which is currently CCRW's largest program. And I was the Employment Outreach Specialist with that program. Moved into the National Operations Manager role when another one of our management staff was on maternity leave. And through that journey, I found myself here in the role of Corporate Relations with CCRW. So wearing that hat as Corporate Relations Manager, I'm very excited to be here representing CCRW at this national conference, Disability and Work in Canada. And what I want to share with you this afternoon, as part of the panel on innovation in service and support for accommodations in return to work and supported employment, is the way in which CCRW is using an employer lens and showcasing the innovative strides CCRW is taking regarding services and supports for accommodation and return to work. First, I'll give you a short introduction of CCRW. CCRW is a national, not-for-profit organization with the sole mandate of employment. We do this by supporting employers and job seekers with disabilities. Through a variety of supports, CCRW has connected hundreds of employers with skilled, job-ready candidates each year for 40 years. But as a nation, we can do better, and that's why we're here, and that time is now. At CCRW, we are committed to ensuring employers have direct access to a diverse talent pool of skilled job seekers, support for hiring and retaining persons with disabilities, and we provide this assistance with hiring and retaining persons with disabilities for your business through a variety of national programs and services. These services and supports are individualized, and as well through continued partnerships as we move towards the future of a more inclusive Canada for all. So part of CCRW's mission is, as innovators and agents of change, we build partnerships, develop skills, share knowledge, and influence attitudes. With an employer lens, CCRW is changing the landscape of employment for job seekers with disabilities by listening to employers, understanding their unique needs, as we saw this morning on the employer panel from the various sectors who are represented here, and providing customized services. And the results are more successful job matches and higher retention rates for job seekers with disabilities. So how are we doing this? What is our approach? CCRW is starting to create a map for success. And what we've seen over the last 30 years, so my lifetime, is that employment service organizations we're doing great work. We're doing great work providing support to job seekers with disabilities and providing one-on-one supports and services for the journey to return to work or to break into that labor market. But the numbers don't lie. And the employment rate of persons with disabilities in Canada, as Minister Hare said yesterday, is 50%. And we need to do better. So how do we do this? An innovative approach that CCRW is suggesting is looking at employment through the employer lens and uncovering the specific and unique needs and developing an individualized plan for service and support that will benefit both the job seekers and the seekers with disabilities and the employer. Our map for success identifies that employers need talent. Employers need specific services as it relates to disability, and employers need a plan for the future as we move towards a national accessibility legislation. So employers need talent, and they need to acquire that talent. As everyone in this room knows, there is a large, untapped talent pool of job seekers with disabilities. And CCRW will focus on employers with One being knowledge, and knowledge of recruitment, knowledge of that talent pool, recruitment and acquiring talent, not only through CCRW, but through the network of systems that exist across this country. And I'm going to come back to that point. Strategies that help connect employers to ideal candidates and candidates that meet the recruitment needs of the business. And this includes candidates from cross-disability sections. Another aspect would be training and accommodations or adjustments. This language that we've been hearing today is that we're moving away from that word accommodation into the built environment, more inclusive workspaces and adjustments. So how do we do this? We do this by offering skills for enhancement, so opportunities for enhancement in various areas of training on a broader scale, and more specifically, workplace and industry-specific training to ensure candidates with disabilities have a competitive skill set that would allow for advancement. So as I said before, I wanted to get back to the network of systems. So this area is all about providing employers with the resources of community partners, with referrals, with recruitment agencies, and at CCRW we recognize that as an organization, we may not be the first touch for a job seeker with a disability or the last, but we are part of a journey of that employment goal. We need to move away from working in silos to get that ever so sought after stat that we all need to have our tick. So yeah, working together on the broader sense through organizations, and I think that will make it easier for employers to navigate that system as well. Next up, services and support. So CCRW will focus on employers with services and support through tools. For example, needs assessments, identify services and support for the entire workplace, through service agreements, outlining needs, procedure, standards, and general information as it relates to hiring, retaining, and supporting persons with disabilities, through our knowledgeable staff, a commitment that CCRW is trained and confident to provide a high level of service, and through our resources. We are able to act as mediators for employers and employees with disabilities, and we are not human resources. And our direct connections to job seekers, our recruitment resources. Lastly, CCRW will focus on employers with planning for the future, and that's what we're all doing here today. The future where there is a national accessibility legislation. And planning for the future will include building awareness through webinars, seminars, information sharing, education, and as a lot of you heard last evening at the roundtables, the Disability Confident Employer Program. Developing a process, one that is individualized for employers. We need to meet the unique needs of employers in all sectors and recognize their needs may fall into any of these areas that I've mentioned at any given time throughout the onboarding process, recruitment, and retention. And we also need to ensure that in creating a vision for the future includes hiring a talent pool of persons with disabilities. I guess get in there under the wire?
You did.
All right. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Megan.